I don't know though. I don't know.
I was getting on you before the pod started. I gotta get a new co-host, man.
I'm not a co-host.
Fuck.
This is the Doe Show.
Text Ava, bro.
Get her down here.
Fucking, you go watch the baby and the dishes.
Fucking, oh my god, dude. I'm so nervous. I just got in my head so much.
Bro, you're so best thing about it, bro.
I'm kidding. Let me just chug my Truly.
Just drink. That'll solve all your fucking problems.
I tell myself that every day. No, I don't want your fans to think I'm an alcoholic. Where were we? So,
Oh yeah, where were we?
Austin.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, is it on now?
the mic is on.
It fucking better be.
Check, 1, 2. The mic is on.
So yeah, Austin.
I've been working so hard this episode too to keep the mic close to my mouth.
I mean, sometimes you work hard just for all your hard work to go down the drain.
I know, dude.
Just like the day you fucking flooded that guy's fucking apartment.
I felt so bad. Okay, but let's get back to Austin real quick,
But can you tell that story after?
I can. It's a good story. But I'm dying to go to Austin. We're gonna go in the fall. I want to go from like a Thursday or Friday to a Monday or Tuesday because we have to go.
5 days.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days, whatever it may be.
Perfect.
We have to go to
Kill Tony?
an airing of Kill Tony, which is Monday nights, and we could buy the tickets way in advance and then buy our plane tickets like around that show.
Yes, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care. I just want to see a show at the mothership.
Yes,
I'm gonna be
we will, and we could go to like a couple that weekend. But I desperately want to go to a taping of Kill Tony because I wouldn't even care who the guest is. Like, it's not like you get to know ahead of the show. So I really want to go to Kill Tony. I want to check out Red Band's Club, the Sunset Strip, which is like right next to the mothership, I think, and just on 6th Street in Austin. There's a bunch of comedy clubs and like bars and shit we could do, dude. There's so much to do in Austin we could figure out. It would be a fun trip.
Were you just about to say something?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna so you watch way more Kill Tony than me.
Yeah,
So you fill me in if I'm missing something.
sure.
Bro, like you would think for anyone who doesn't know comedy,
Mm-hmm.
like, and is just watching Kill Tony, they would think Red Baron is just like a audio engineer.
Yeah.
Boy, he doesn't fucking say anything.
No, he just kind of runs the sound.
And he has a microphone.
He does, and he says stuff every now and then, but usually when he says something, it bombs, or Tony just makes fun of him or something.
So we just kind of gave up trying to say shit?
No, like, because he goes with the joke. Like, he knows it's just for the gag, whatever. And he oftentimes will say something that hits, and everybody goes crazy because Red Band doesn't talk that much.
Well, because
he does just kind of, he does like some producing, and he just kind of hits the soundboard and shit. And I don't exactly know what he does, but he's a co-host.
yeah, I mean, like, well, dude, dude, he fucking helped Joe start the podcast.
Yeah, he was there before JMO.
And they're still friends to this day. So obviously I don't know Joe personally, but I feel like I know Joe enough to be like, any guy that's been friends with Joe for that long, I'd assume they're like a good guy and they're like cool and actually funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he is like that, he's cool and a funny dude, like, why doesn't he talk more?
I don't know. Every time he goes on JRE, I love the episodes. I listen to everyone.
I've never listened to a podcast that he's been on.
Oh, really?
No.
He goes on Joe Rogan every
Can I be honest?
year or two.
The only words I've ever heard him say ever are, "Oh, and by the way, I'd love to have you on the See-Through Show."
That's
Just every time.
it is pretty much something he says every episode.
Like I get really invested like into like whatever sort of like oddball characters out there
Yeah.
performing,
Yeah.
and then it's Tony riffing, and then all the other comics on the panel riffing,
Yep.
and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I would love to have you." I'm like, who the fuck is that a content? I'm like, "Oh, it's Red Band."
No, I love Red Band. He is really fun.
Well, I mean, he's so it's just being like boy and buku,
Yeah.
just press some buttons.
He pretty much hits the soundboard a lot, and like
Where he needs to talk more.
I guess I don't think he needs to. The show's doing great with just how he is.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not great, but like, I'm sure he can bring something to the table.
It's funny. It's all part of the big.
He's sitting at the table. Tony should bring something.
Tony shits on him a lot.
I'm not saying he doesn't bring anything to the table.
Yeah, Tony shits on him a lot too. Like, because he'll just say a joke that'll bomb, and it's all just for the show. It's funny.
Do you think Tony's mean?
I don't. I mean, I guess
Can you understand where people that say he's mean are coming from?
for sure.
I see so many comments saying Tony's a fucking dick.
For sure, but that's what makes the show great to me. And also, Tony is nice a lot, dude. I mean, holy fuck, he does so much for comedy and comedians, and so much for Austin.
I agree.
And
I like Tony. I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but
I mean, I don't think he's like a jackass. I think he's just that's kind of what made him big. I mean, he's a roast comedian. Like,
yeah,
he came up doing all those Comedy Central roasts and stuff. So
I think it's one of those things like comedy entertainment. It's one of those things where it's like, bro, anything's fair game. If you can't handle it, then like maybe it's not.
yeah,
Maybe it's not the game for you.
mm-hmm.
He's only ever mean to the point where I'm like my reaction is like, come on, Tony.
yeah.
I'm never like, what the fuck, dude?
No, I'm not.
And some of them ever like that.
Some of the commenters will be like that. Like,
Yeah, they're like
Tony. Like,
well, they're like, this guy is such a fucking huge ego.
he shouldn't even be famous. Like, but fuck that. The dude is one of the biggest podcasts in the world. I think it's just fine for him to have a bit of an ego.
Yeah,
And he's hilarious. His comedy's good too.
yeah. I've only seen one clip of him where he like seemed like a little bit up his own ass, but that was then this clip was so funny. It was on and I'm not saying I hate Tony for like I'm like, oh, he's a dick, but it was just one clip. But it was on Adam Ray does like the Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
He has his own like show.
Yeah.
He fucking he had Bert Kreischer and Mark Norman. Do you know Jeremiah Watkins?
Yeah, of course. I watched that one. I watch a lot of the documentaries.
AI Mark Norman.
Yes. That was funny. That was great.
It was like, Coward, Jeremiah's good. Bro, dude.
The impressions.
Bro, he killed it. I was the dude, like, not only the impression, but like the jokes he wrote kind of like pretending to be Mark were like funny as shit.
For sure.
Yeah, man, yeah, Tony came out and like Jeremiah roasted him, and then Tony got a little annoyed, and then Jeremiah was like, "Oh, these personal words kind of hurt a bit. Hey, hurry, comedy." Yeah, it was funny.
Jeremiah is pretty underrated. He's funny.
Yeah, I saw a fucking very old clip of him like making fun of some guy that like was on Kill Tony doing a minute set, and then the guy tried to punch him.
I think I've seen that, dude.
Mm.
I think I've seen that clip. Because there's a lot of old clips that
It was very old.
before the show kind of got super big, and
When did the Kill Tony start?
I think 10 years ago.
I think it was longer.
Yeah, it might be longer because I think they had their 10-year anniversary show last year because they started in the belly room at the Comedy Store, and there was like, I mean, nobody was going to the shows when it first started. It was just like a nothing podcast, a nothing show, and I think I know the clip you're talking about though because it was a really old show, and there's a few funny clips. Like there's one where this guy bombed so bad, dude, and he just got so butthurt and pissed and just started like insulting the people of the panel, and it's so funny, especially back then when the show was nothing, and now it blows up, and that guy's got to look back at that video of himself. It's a great show. I love Kill Tony.
The best one. Actually, the last time it's been like a little over a month now since I've drank, and the last time I drank was here.
Yeah.
And then I woke up on your couch hungover, like really early, like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I watched a bit of Kill Tony. I turned it on the TV, and I watched the fucking Shane is Trump and Adam Ray's Biden.
Yeah, that's a great one. That has like 25 million views too, bro. That's such a big podcast,
bro. Like that episode would have banged even if Adam Ray did a shit Joe Biden.
Yep.
But bro, Joe Biden was fucking very, very.
Adam Ray is so good at his crashes. Adam Ray is just funny. He's so funny. And Shane's Trump, I mean, really made the show. He's killer.
Yeah. So Did you see the thumbnail that I showed you earlier?
Yeah, Top G.
Yeah, well, like, did you see the other guy in the thumbnail I was talking to?
Yeah. You had him on the pod.
Yeah, well, I was looking through, watching the episode back, making clips, and there was a little clip where we're both doing like a Trump impression.
Oh yeah. My Trump is like, it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
This podcast is the greatest podcast. So, as soon as I did, I was like, that's not good. You should have done it. You should have done it.
cut that. But no, I love Kill Tony. We got to go to one when we go to Austin. We have to go to Kill Tony. We got to go to a bunch of shows when we're there.
Who's the one comic you would want to see most?
Like
if we go to Austin.
just in Austin.
I think for me, the one I'd want to see the most is Sam Morril, bro.
Yeah?
I love Sam Morril, dude.
And you've never seen him live?
Nope.
No. Okay.
He was in Seattle recently.
I know that, and I saw him when he came to Spokane in 2021.
I really also love Fahim Anwar.
I know you do.
Dude,
He's funny.
He
is funny.
He's from Seattle.
Yes, I think you told me that.
Yeah.
The one comic I would want to see most, I'm gonna miss somebody. I mean, like, does it have to be Austin local or just anybody?
No, like let's just if there was a comic that lived there or a comic that was just like dropping in.
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean,
Like when you go to Austin, who's the one comedian you're like, oh, I wish they would be there when we go there.
yeah, it's honestly really hard, but like, I mean, Shane lives there, and he's always at the mothership, and he does the.
Yeah, you've seen him twice now.
I have seen him twice. I mean, I don't really remember the second time.
Oh, dude.
I actually don't hardly remember any of his set. We had
neither.
We paid $300 for like $17 a beer that night.
Yeah.
We drank way too many.
Yeah, I remember him being like, so my dad's a Republican. That's the only thing I remember from the whole show. That's it.
He did the Trump impression. He does it almost every show.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him, I remember though, it was probably my favorite show I've ever been to. But yeah, I've seen it before. Oh my God, dude. I don't know. I really don't know. It's kind of hard. I feel like I'm on the spot right now. 'Cause like
It's too hard of a question. We can just move past
the list of people I've always wanted to see is like John Mulaney, Pete Davidson I've always wanted to see, Chappelle I've always wanted to see. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's just a list of goats that I've always wanted to see, and it's kind of hard. But I would love to just see Shane pop in. Like, you don't know you're going to see him, and to have him pop in. But that's the great thing about Kill Tony is that the guests are always kind of a surprise. The panel is always a surprise, so you don't know who you're getting.
Yeah.
And there could be like special guests and stuff.
Maybe
The regulars are always great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm dying to go.
But that is a hard question. I feel like I'm never good on this.
Not even just
That-
for the comedy mothership, but like the amount of people on Instagram I follow that have like been going to Austin
Mhm.
is like crazy. And then like the pictures, videos they post on the gram of their trip, they look like they're having the best time, dude.
It's like Austin's just a big up and coming city, dude. It's rapidly growing.
Yeah. So we're at 56 minutes. I think now would be a good time for a Reddit story.
All right.
So I have a couple. Jaden sent me a video.
I hope we're at 56 minutes, dude, as long as my mic was on.
Oh, he just sent me a video of him in the sauna. Was that your baby?
That was. She's sleeping upstairs.
Do you know what I was saying with Jaden?
What's that?
It's so crazy to think like probably by the time when I have a kid, your guys' kids will be like almost 10.
You think? You think it's going to be that long before you settle down?
I mean, obviously, you never know when you meet the right person and things could move quick, but I don't want to rush into anything. Like,
Smart.
I mean, I should at least be in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So she's not one yet.
No, she's 8 months today, dude.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Crazy.
It is crazy.
Sorry, that sounds
Goes by
that
fast.
sounds sarcastic.
Goes by fast.
Okay. Talk for a bit. I don't want there to be
So there, I'm gonna do some Reddit stories. I mean, are we gonna hear confessions? Are we gonna hear dark stories? What kind of Reddit stories?
Okay.
Is this a new segment coming to the podcast? Am I
Yeah.
first podcast you're doing this with?
Yeah.
All right,
I've never done this before.
all right.
It's just that. Oh God, the amount.
Because I just want you to explain it a little bit.
Well, like what we're doing, what
Yeah.
the trend is.
Yeah.
We talked about it briefly with Ava.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it's a huge trend. Are you familiar with Reddit? You're not, huh?
Not really. I had Reddit for a bit, but I deleted it.
So Reddit it's sort of just like a place with a bunch of forums. It's sort of like a glorified chat room, I guess. Well, I don't even, I'm gonna be honest. I only really use Reddit to try and find leaks of like girls' OnlyFans. God. In fact, this is one of the fucking pictures I've saved on
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll admit, there's a lot of sexy girls out there.
Fair enough.
I'll pay $1,000 to see a picture of a girl, and
That's what you're using your Reddit for. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm only a man. Don't judge me,
No,
guys.
I ain't judging.
Okay, so yeah, Reddit. So Reddit has like a really strong. There's probably gonna be some Reddit users that like may roast. What am I kidding? These podcasts get like 40 views, bro. Fucking. So Reddit it's just like it has a really strong community, and it kind of has a reputation where like losers and weird people go to kind of just talk and rant about things. But there's different like forums and subreddits for different like topics of discussion. Like for example, I'm on one. It's called NewTubers. It's just like a forum where people who are new to YouTube like talk about their experience and shit they're dealing with. Like, oh, I can't grow even though I've been posting this amount, or trying to make my thumbnails like this, or I've found some success. Here's what I've done. It's just kind of like chat rooms.
Yeah.
What for certain topics. So there's a lot of it's really easy to make a throwaway account where you're anonymous.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of subreddits, chat like forums, where that are really popular, where people go to like. Have you ever like? There's one called "Am I the Asshole?" and this is pretty much. Have you ever had like an argument or like a beef with someone, and you think you didn't do anything wrong, and the other person's overreacting, but you can't tell, so you want to get someone else's opinion on it?
Sure.
It's where people like will go and like type out the whole situation and explain it, and then people are like, yeah, that's on you.
Yeah.
Or like, no, that's not on you. You're not the asshole.
Yeah.
The other person's the asshole. You're not tripping.
Because I have heard of like confessions, which like Noel Miller will make videos on it.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes.
that's right.
So I have heard of that.
In fact, the one we're gonna be doing is from Confessions.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Confessions. Here's
we're just gonna pretty much be saying if that person's right, wrong.
No, we're just gonna kind of just talk about
Okay,
it.
we're just riffing.
Yeah. Oh, because basically it's a huge trend for people on podcasts to just read out these stories. And then a lot of them, like the whole clip is just them reading the story. That's it.
Okay.
And they're wildly popular. It's a huge trend. Plus, it's just a really interesting segment. I'm not being like this is stupid, but it gets views, so.
For sure.
So, okay, here's the one we're going to be reading. It's kind of interesting. I'm kind of excited.
Let's go. New segment.
I'm gonna drink some water. Oh, you didn't open your fucking White Claw.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. This was posted 44 days ago. The title is, I stole thousands from my employer and got away with it.
Oh, God.
As you can probably guess from the title, I found a gap in procedures and exploited the hell out of it. I wouldn't call it a loophole, just a gap in the apathy of others. Circa 2005, I worked for a company which sold bits and bobs of everything both in-store and online. I did stints in the main distribution center dealing with returns, but mainly worked in store as a shift manager. Part of that role was dealing with returns, which included things customers bought online. Big thing of the returns was that any item $10 or under, which was open, was written off as a waste and binned. If it was an online purchase, it didn't require a physical receipt, just confirmation from manager, me, that it was one of our products. This was also before refunds, and returns could be done online. They could only be done in store. Bonus was that the refunds for online purchases could either be on the original payment card or in cash. Guess what I started doing? I started doing dodgy returns for non-existent items. I also knew that the bin returns were sent to the distribution center and binned from there and never truly counted. So stock counts were always off. I only ever did small items, and around $30 a day that I did it for. I did this successfully for 3 years and netted $17,000 to $18,000 in cash.
No way.
And used it for my everyday purchases, and little bits went into saving account. Left after that and was able to put a deposit on a house, and I wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. Do I feel guilty? Nope. Would I do it again? No. But mainly because there wouldn't be any way that I could get away with it. Do I feel sorry for companies which have a problem with theft by employees? No, mainly because they create the conditions which allow it to occur and thrive. In my experience, employee theft happens because they hate the company and do not earn enough to live. The company's first reaction will always be to clamp down and tighten procedures to make it harder while ignoring the root cause. Why are your employees stealing? What can you do to make your employees not want to steal in the first place? Raise wages, improve conditions, improve managers' interpersonal skills? How about share incentives or profit sharing give you employees some skin in the game? Whenever I hear of a company with an employee theft problem, I automatically assume they must be terrible to work for and have zero empathy.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's like a big corporation or something, can't feel too bad. But that would give me so much anxiety, dude.
Yeah, like, oh, today's the day.
So much anxiety.
Today's the day. Fuck.
But that person obviously never got caught.
No.
Got away with it. Got a down payment on their house.
$17,000 to $18,000?
That's a lot of fucking money.
I'm blanking. Did they say over what period of time did it take for them to allocate all that amount of money?
Well, he said small increments, so like $30 a day over multiple years. I think he said 5 years or something.
Fuck.
That would give me so much anxiety, dude.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess, like, because, for other subreddits, it's like, am I the asshole? So the commenter's job is to sort of be like, yeah, you're the asshole or you're not. I think for confessions, we just kind of give our take whether we think it's actually fucked or not.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard to say. Like, it's a big corporation. I mean, it didn't hurt them really in the long run. They weren't keeping track of the returns. But the guy stole nearly $20,000 cash.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is wild.
I don't think I would have the balls to do that. Or to keep it going after I did it for a few grand.
After I made enough to, like, rack up a decent bar tab on a Friday night, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done, dude.
Or enough for, like, a used car, but to keep going.
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
Fuck.
But he was getting away with it for so long.
The account's deleted.
Yeah.
So.
He confessed and walked away.
Dude, I mean, that
Oh,
was...
fuck.
I had the same philosophy when I would steal shit from Safeway in high school.
That's what I was about to bring up. Did you ever do that? Like, steal?
Absolutely.
In high school, I would steal from, like, Fred Meyer and, like, Safeway Albertsons. So much. Because, like, I don't know, looking at me, they're not going to think I'm stealing. So I would just go fill my arms up with, like, sodas, Red Bull, snacks. I would go to the deli, get, like, full meals, and just say I have more shopping to do, and then just walk out with my arms full.
So easy.
And I never once got, like, a side eye, never got caught, never got chased out. Never. Eventually, I just stopped because I got scared, and I think maybe some other people from my high school did get caught. But, like, I never once even came close to getting caught. And I did it for, like, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, weekly, daily. I would just do it. I would just walk in, grab what I needed for the day, and walk.
Yeah, I mean, with the deli section in particular, it's dumb easy to steal.
So easy.
Like, I imagine, like, fucking, like, higher ups at Safeway do quarterly reports. They're like, all right, how much did we spend to bring in all this fresh food? About $10,000. And the gross revenue for this quarterly report is $500.
There's no way they're gonna notice a couple turkey sandwiches missing.
We lost $9,500 on the deli section.
But it was so easy. I think it's a little harder now.
Stupid easy.
And I don't think even back then they had like those fake shoppers that just walk around. Which, like, by the way, I've noticed. I know of a guy at the Walmart I go to up north here. I see a guy every time I'm there. He's a fake shopper. And I've seen him talking to workers and stuff. And I always know he wears a bolo tie and he has like white hair. And he's always just slowly walking around and he'll sometimes stop and talk to a worker and stuff.
So,
And he has the earpiece in too. But it's just like AirPods.
I just never understood how like you would go about getting that job.
Yeah, for sure. I have no idea. Maybe through like a security company. Or no, maybe you just have to be a normal looking dude.
What? And it's like, do they like does Safeway hire people and they're like, listen, you've been here for like months now. You're shit at doing the checkout stand. Fucking, you don't know how to stack boxes for dick. Fucking, you're too dumb to be a manager, work higher up.
Yeah.
You want to be a secret shopper?
That's the thing. You don't have to be good at anything. You just walk around,
But what does that require? You just
look at
just
people.
walk around the cereal aisle for 5 hours.
And maybe talk into the microphone and let the employees know when you see something sketchy.
yeah.
And even then, the employees aren't really supposed to or allowed to like do anything. If you leave the store, they can't chase you. They don't, like, most security guards can't really touch you.
Yeah.
There's like laws against it, and the big corporations don't want them interfering with like, I don't know, robberies or people running out because they don't want them to get hurt.
I'm pretty sure I had one encounter with a secret shopper.
Really?
Yeah. I used to steal alcohol. I would steal everything, but I would exclusively steal alcohol and sell it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's some profit.
Dude, I used to drive a Prius, and so I would steal a bunch of alcohol and put it in the trunk of my car,
Yep.
and then I would take a Snapchat video of like 50 bottles in the trunk of my Prius,
Yep.
and be like, "Oh, who wants a bottle? Hit me up. The Smirnoff's 25 a bottle." Fucking, and it was so dope because it was like all profit.
And you would steal multiple bottles at a time. Were you tucking them in your waistband? How are you doing it?
Fucking loads of them. And I'm like, there were a couple times where they like, there were two girls that I would hang out with, and they would go in and steal bottles of alcohol for me,
Yeah.
and all the one in their exchange was to be smoked out.
But they would take a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, dude, they would steal they would come out with like 15.
That's wild.
And dude, and I was ramping up the business.
Yeah.
So this was, this is kind of my introduction into entrepreneurship. Stupid. I mean, so half joking, but not at the same time. So
You're making a buck.
I was ramping up the business. So there was one night, I remember over the summer, I drove around with these two girls. We went to every single Safeway on the east side of Seattle. So from like midnight to 3-4 in the morning, we drove to 8 different Safeways, and I think we got over 100 different bottles of alcohol in one night.
Oh my god.
And then I would just fucking I had like a quarter, so I was like, all right, I'll just drive us, and you dolls just smoke away.
That's a big profit, dude. If you sell 100 bottles, sold them for $20 a piece.
What is the math on that? Fuck.
I couldn't do the math, but that's a big profit. That's a big profit.
As soon as I pull up the
Even if you just,
calculator, I'm gonna be like, duh, obviously.
even if you didn't sell all of them and you took the rest to a party or something.
All right, let's lowball in it. $20. So 100 times 20 is $2,000.
That's wild.
That was a good sell.
Also, you wouldn't need to be doing that.
I did not.
See, your parents got
I
money.
just like money.
Yeah, but your parents got money.
Yeah, but like,
They were just giving it out like that.
yeah, and like, I don't know. I'm not. My parents make decent money, but I don't know. I hated like being spoiled.
Yeah, that's good.
Like they would spoil me, but I would hate being like, "Hey, mom, dad, can I have like $100?"
Yeah.
I would. I mean, sometimes I would do that, but I just hated doing that. So
So that's our confession is stealing. Do you regret it though?
no,
I don't either.
no. In fact,
It was kind of a rush.
I miss those days.
Yeah, I don't miss them.
In fact, I might go steal from Safeway right now for nostalgia purposes after this.
I don't miss it, but it was definitely a rush, and it was kind of cool because it was like I just knew that I looked so innocent. Like they would never
Yeah.
stop me and say, "Oh, you're stealing that." Like it just wasn't gonna happen. I just
Is that what stealing?
it was so easy,
No, that guy's a pussy. He didn't have the balls to steal.
and it was like in the valley, so like they were really like I don't think they were really dealing with a lot of thievery in my area.
Yeah, but so the secret shopper encounter.
Oh yeah.
I want to lean back, but I'm still in frame, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
you're good.
So the secret shopper, I was in a Safeway. Okay, so basically, so I wouldn't just have girls steal it. I would steal it myself. And when I was younger, I was far more ballsy doing it because I started stealing. I still remember the first time I ever stole something. I was with these fucking guys that I made friends with at a high school by my house. Not the one I went to, even though it was by my house, which is weird.
Mhm.
But I remember we were in the store and we were like just going around and they were like, yo, we want to go egg this girl's house. So then they were like, let's go buy some eggs. And then they picked up the eggs and we walked by the self-check and I was like, yo, guys, the self-checkout stands back there. Where are we going? They're like, shh, dude, shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
I was like, you steal them? Like, not pay for them and walk out with them? And it's like, fucking, that was the first time we ever stole something. And I was like, oh, that was the easiest shit ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing this all the time.
Yeah.
So fucking, so then, bro, with them, these guys were ballsy. These guys just didn't give a fuck. And these are the types of guys where I would, like, you know, do, like, hard drugs with them. Like, the only time I've ever done, like, Coke, Xanax.
Bad influences.
Yeah, if they were.
And they got you into thievery.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Fucking, yeah, so we would, like, go in and we would each grab, like, a 24 rack of beer and then just sprint out. Fucking, so just, like, I just got super used to doing it. But then I didn't for a number of years, and then starting to do it again, it was just not nearly the same. It's so much different when you're by yourself.
So different.
So much more scary.
So scary, dude. Just the thought of getting caught and like
By
I don't know.
yourself?
Yeah, not even just by yourself, but just like having to deal with it, and like you're not even dealing really with like law enforcement when you're that young. Like they're just gonna call your parents or something.
Yeah.
And like that did happen to me when I ran out with a rack of Bud Light, and I think I've told you this story. And me and my cousin ran out of a gas station with a rack of Bud Light, and there was like one of my school counselors of all people
Oh, for
Was-
fuck's sake.
either driving by or pumping gas, and like went in and told the gas station clerk.
That's
their-
worse than just a teacher.
I know. And they saw me specifically, told the clerk like my name, and I think they found my grandma in the yellow pages and fucking called her, got a hold of my mom, and then my mom was blowing me up, and then I was grounded for a week.
Coleman Gunyon to the counselor's office?
No, I didn't even get in trouble at school. That's the thing. The counselor never brought up to me. I don't know which counselor it was. And I was so embarrassed, dude. It sucked having to deal with like my mom. Because like I said, there was no law enforcement brought into the fact. It was just like a 18 pack of Bud Light. And we just went to the high school and drank some beer. And it was just so embarrassing, dude, to get caught. And then I did it again. And I ran out of a gas station and I didn't get caught. And it was a rush. It was a rush for sure, but it was scary as hell, dude. It was that was the last thing I ever stole was that rack of beer.
Really?
Yeah, because it was so scary,
When
dude.
was that? What year of high school?
That must have been junior year.
Okay.
Because after that, like after like getting caught, like it was just like there was no point. Like you can find people that are 21 that would just buy it for you. Like you don't need to steal. Like just go work for somebody, mow a lawn, make a few bucks, and then
Yeah.
fucking have somebody buy
I was
some,
born.
or become a plumber. And actually, should we get into that story? How I flooded somebody's condo?
I mean, I want to whiff a bit more for the shopping.
All right.
What is that? I'm thoroughly enjoying this topic.
Well, then yeah, dude. Because I'm getting anxiety here thinking about I'm getting anxiety thinking about my beer run when I got caught. That shit was.
I mean, it's just like, oh, yeah, but dude, there is nothing better when the only option in the world is for you to sack up and steal a bottle because you're underage, and you do it, and then the ecstasy of being in the car with your friends and driving to a local park with a bottle.
Is that the only option?
Nothing better.
You couldn't go ask a homeless guy to buy you a bottle and he can buy himself one while he's in there?
I'm not gonna fucking like chip into some cunt's fucking
alcoholism. Did you ever do that though? Ask people?
Product problem.
Did you ever ask people to buy? No. I remember me and my friends waited outside of a gas station, and we did eventually get somebody to buy us Four Locos.
Really?
That was one of the first times I ever got drunk too. And we just went back to my grandma's house and drank it in her basement.
That's awesome.
Four Locos.
Yeah. Okay. Let me tell this secret shopper story.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to that.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I was really like ballsy confident doing it at first, but then years went by and I didn't do it, and then I started to do it again, and I was just doing it by myself, but I was so much more scared.
Yeah.
So, dude, the thing is, if you go in and you're decisive and quick, it's just way more effective and likely to succeed. If you go in and you're clearly not even shopping. You're just building up the confidence, walking between the cereal and the pasta aisle.
Yeah, super nervous, walking around,
looking for people. Okay, now's the window of opportunity. No, I can't. Dude, so I was doing that, and I didn't notice anyone that was, like, eyeing me. So, this is probably dumb, but I got a bottle of alcohol, like a bottle of like vodka, and I brought it to the so I had a hydro flask.
Yeah.
I had a hydro flask. So I brought my hydro flask, which was empty, and the bar of vodka to the freezer aisle. So then I acted like I was reaching into the back of the freezer aisle to grab something from the back. But what I was doing was pouring the bottle of vodka into the hydro flask.
No way.
And then while I was doing that, this guy comes out of nowhere, yanks it off of me, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
No way.
And I was so scared I didn't say anything. I just immediately started because you know when like you don't want to just run, but you're just speed walking to get away from something?
Yeah.
I just speed walked away, and he just speed walks like right behind me.
What?
Yeah, and then I go out into my car and drive away, and he's at the front of the store just looking at me. And then I think, oh, God, he sees my plates. This is my dad's car. He's going to call the cops. I'm fucked.
Of course.
And then nothing happened. And but it was scary.
That's something similar to that did happen to my friends in high school, where they did like an alcohol run or a beer run, and they ran out to a car, got away, and then the store contacted local high schools and found my friends, and they got caught.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because that shit happens. It's so scary. I mean, it is a rush. And like at the beginning, it was so easy. I thought nothing of it for like a year or two. Just stealing random products. Nothing, not alcohol or nothing. Just sandwiches and snacks and drinks and stuff. And it was so easy. And then I just started getting scared and too nervous to do it.
Yeah.
It couldn't do it.
It's sort of like if you're like a drug dealer, but you sell weed, but then you start selling cocaine. You're like, oh, this is a whole nother level, huh?
Oh, I couldn't do it. It's too much. I especially couldn't do it now. Like,
well, okay. Not only now, like, could you get in actual trouble, but like, if you're still stealing alcohol in like your mid to late 20s, you're a fucking loser. You're a fucking like even if you do it successfully, you're probably just in some park drinking. You're like, I think I have a problem.
Yeah,
I know really turn my life around, but let me finish this first. And then I'll fucking figure it out.
And then you're back to it the next day.
Yeah. Okay, but before we get into the you flooding the apartment, I do want to ask you this because you talked about getting drunk for the first time, and it made me remember this.
Yeah.
Don't you have a story where you were at the cliffs with a bunch of friends and you drank Fireball and woke up in the dark? Bro, please tell that story, bro.
I know exactly,
Bro,
Uh,
that story gives me anxiety.
it gives me anxiety too, especially just knowing that my friends were like right there the whole time at the cliffs. So yeah, like I had like an older kid buy me like a bottle of Fireball and like a bottle of Grey Goose, and I didn't know what to buy, so I just asked for two different kinds, and
I'm gonna guess you were like a freshman or sophomore in high school.
I want to say sophomore. I want to say it was like end of sophomore year when I was pretty fresh into like getting stoned and drinking and stuff,
Yeah.
and didn't know much about it other than it was fun to do. And we were at the cliffs at the lake, the spot we love, and we were there with a big group too, and I like provided the alcohol that night, and I wanted to drink most of the Fireball because that was what I liked, and I got it, so it was
I also love Fireball.
yeah.
So many people hate it.
I like it,
I
especially
love it.
if it's like cold. If it's in the winter, it just warms you up. It warms up the lungs. But so I drank like a bunch of Fireball that night, like way too much for my little ass to consume, and we were like up in the woods a bit, like not down at the cliffs. We were gonna go to the cliffs that night. We were kind of partying down there that night. Went up into the cliffs, and we were like smoking and drinking, and I just drank so much Fireball and way too much for my little body,
Yeah.
and probably I would say 3/4 of a bottle, maybe just half. I don't know. I'm probably over exaggerating, and I blacked
Maybe
out.
3/4 of a bottle.
Or it might have been half. I don't know. I blacked out.
Ian half.
Yeah, Yeah, for my 16-year-old, I was probably 140 pounds, 130 pounds, and I blacked out. But I guess I browned out because I do remember like waking up, and I just kind of woke up in the dirt, and my body was just limp. And you know the cliffs, there's houses right there. Like people that don't really want you on that property, even though it's public property.
I remember some of the owners like getting mad at us for vaping.
For just doing nothing.
Remember the old nun? He was like, "No smoking."
Yeah, we were just like, because it was like summer, and he was like, "Hey, you can cause a fire with that cigarette," and I was like, "It's just a vape, sir."
I don't care. No smoking.
So, anyways, I wake up like my body's limp, like I don't even know how to walk, or at least I didn't think I did, and I thought my friends all left me. I thought they left me, and so I'm literally on the ground, not knowing where I'm at, thinking I'm like further into the woods or something. And so I just start yelling, dude.
Wait, and sorry to make things clear, it was like a beautiful summer like day evening.
It was night though.
I thought it started and during the day, and then you woke up and it was dark.
Exactly. Well, that is it. That's it. That's what I'm saying. I woke up.
So scary.
Yes, I woke up.
Was it
It's
pitch
dark.
black?
I'm sure it must have been 10 or 11 at night. I don't know.
Especially when you're so disoriented.
Yeah, and like these are my friends, but not like my best friends. I didn't know them like I didn't hang out with them every day. And because they were kind of like my new friends that I just became friends with after I started smoking and stuff. And so I wake up, I think they all leave me, and so I just start yelling, and I'm literally yelling, "Help! Help! I can't walk. I don't know where I am," dude. I'm just like mindlessly yelling. I don't know what to do. I can't even get up, dude. I just like
You yelled, "I can't walk."
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I yelled I can't walk. I think I did. And
I can't get up.
I literally am just yelling for help.
Damn.
And then I can kind of hear my
You
friends
need a life alert, bro.
because they were really just down at the cliffs. Like we were
Yeah.
just up in the woods, and I didn't really realize. And they're like yelling for me to shut the fuck up. Like, shut up.
Oh.
And I'm terrified, dude. Like thinking I must have thought like, I don't know if that's my friends or if it's somebody coming to help me that can hear me. And so I'm just yelling like, "Help! Help!" And I'm on the dirt just like
Oh my god.
being a fucking idiot. And I just kept yelling for help. And then eventually one of my friends, of course, they didn't leave me because they weren't, dipshits. They low life. So they did fucking come get me, like I think when they were all hiking back up from the cliffs, and they just helped me drag me back up to the car, and it was fine. But I remember just being so terrified that I was alone in the woods in the dark.
Yeah,
That broke off my ass.
that is something out of a nightmare, huh?
But just like thinking back on it, like people at those homes in their homes probably heard me like yelling for help, like
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on out there?
And bro, they're all like old, like super wealthy people just
Yeah.
trying to relax in their mansion that they worked their whole lives to get. And next thing you know, some drunken little sophomore.
They probably did go out and like yell at my friends like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, Richard, go help that little kid."
That was scary, dude. But that's just like young and dumb, dude. Don't know what you're doing. Don't know how to drink. Don't know how to just being a teenager. That was scary though. That was scary.
Yeah.
You just made me remember that. Fireball. I didn't drink Fireball for a long time after that. A long time.
That's funny.
I like it now though.
It's a good story.
I like it now. That's a scary story. Imagine.
Well, no, good. Imagine.
Imagine if they did leave. Like, I would always. I mean, I probably would have just slept out there. I don't know. Or I would have kept yelling for help until somebody called the police. Imagine that. That's terrifying.
And dude, like, bro, that is not flat ground. You easily could have like fallen
Yeah.
and then fallen like and then hit your head on a rock.
Yeah. 100%.
Dude, bro, I've heard of two people, one girl I personally knew, and then another guy who I didn't know, but like a bunch of my friends knew this guy.
Yeah.
They were like drunk or high, and they fell, hit their head, then fell into the water and drowned and died.
And died. And oh my God. That's terrifying.
Well, actually, okay, the girl, I don't know. It's possible she was sober, but just fell and hit her head and got knocked out.
Yeah.
And fell into the water and died. It sucks because I was friends with this girl.
Right.
And she was like the nicest girl. Very sad.
Literally, that could have been me. There's no saying where that night could have gone if. I mean, again, like I said, my friends were good people. They weren't just gonna leave me. I think they probably just saw that I fell asleep, so they were gonna let me take a nap. And they just went to jump in the water. It probably wasn't even that long. It was probably longer in my head because I was blacked out. But yeah, that is scary.
Wow.
You got any stories like that? Being a young idiot in high school, drinking too much?
I mean, it's not even like I'm trying to think of one. I'm just filtering through the hundreds of them. Like, what is the best one? There's a lot.
Just give me a good one.
Well, the worst one is like I was an adult.
How long ago?
Bro, when Lily found my
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Should we get into that or save it for another pod?
Should we?
That's one of my favorite stories ever, dude. Especially because when Lily told me that she saw you, I just thought you were really down in the ducks. Like I didn't think you were homeless. I just thought you were really, really down bad. And so I felt bad when Lily told me that. And then when you told me what really happened that night, dude, I couldn't stop laughing. That is one of my favorite fucking stories.
I remember it's like one of those things where we didn't see each other for years. And then like, but it was such a thing where you were like, I have to know what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, good to see you. How you been? Okay, so tell me what happened that night. Like, fucking dude, I mean, I would be the same, dude.
All right, we'll get into it. Start from the beginning.
The worst part is the story is so ridiculous and so long. And I was so drunk. I still, even to this day, can't even quite piece it all together accurately. So, okay. So basically, I was living here in Spokane, and it was one summer, and it was kind of like a lonely period, and so I talked about. No, I didn't talk about this on the pod. So it was kind of like a weird period where I just quit my job at Domino's, and I wasn't really working. And I just felt kind of lonely and was just smoking weed constantly. Just like, every bad habit you could think of I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was just like being really stupid. I was going through like a tough time.
Right.
Then I went to Ireland for the first time in 5 years. And I was almost afraid to go back because I had a weird feeling that all my friends there like almost wouldn't remember me or like wouldn't want to hang out with me.
How long had it been?
5 years.
Okay.
So I go, not only does everyone remember me, like so many people in the town were like so happy I was there. They were like, "Oh my God, Matt, what's up, bro?" And then I ended up like impulsively going to a festival with them, and bro, it was like the best trip of my fucking life.
Yeah.
But because like because it was so good to go from that to coming back to Spokane by myself, just completely alone, that almost sent me into like a worse depression
Yeah.
because sometimes it takes like a really incredible experience, like a temporary, really amazing experience to then put in perspective how shit your day-to-day life is compared to that experience. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
It's sort of like
Sad.
Yeah, it's sort of like how they say like a lot of Olympic athletes have like the blues after and get depressed
Yeah.
because it's such a high.
Especially with that, 'cause most of them just go back to a normal 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I came back and I kind of just picked up where I left off, just doing the same shit, but I started drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And I just so there was this one dive bar, Ichabod's,
Yeah.
that I started going to like a lot. And really cool bar, cool atmosphere. Bartender was cool. Like people that were fucking drunks, but they were actually cool. They weren't like shitheads.
Yeah.
So I kind of started to like make friends there that I would only hang out with. That's the thing about making friends at bars. Like not all of them, but a lot of them, you're only gonna hang out with them at the bar.
Yep.
So if you don't have any other friends, but you want to hang out with friends, you're gonna be at the
You're
fucking
going to
bar.
drink. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I would just get so drunk. I never did anything really stupid, but like the bartender would always have to be like, "No, you probably shouldn't drive. Like, give me your keys."
Right.
And then so basically, I mean, sort of similar to your story about like drinking too much Fireball, but you know, when some nights just the alcohol just hits different. It just,
Goes down easy.
yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's almost like when a fighter is a weaker chin and they get knocked out easier.
Sure.
I don't know. It's sort of like
Sure.
it just, for whatever reason, the alcohol just grabs a hold of you in a way that it never has before.
Uh-huh.
So that happened to me. So I drove there. So one of my like drunk friends fucking gave me a ride home. With very close drive, like less than 5 minutes, maybe less. On a night with no traffic.
Yeah.
So, he dropped. So we drove by the 7-Eleven, and I remembered I didn't have any food at home. So I was like, "Yo, drop me off at the 7-Eleven," because I was gonna get like a Devour.
And you lived right next to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and then he was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I'm like a 2-minute walk away from here, so I'm gonna just get some food and then walk home." And he was like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right." I go in, I buy a 7-Eleven, and then some cigarettes. Did I say I buy a 7-Eleven?
Stop by a 7-Eleven. Whatever.
I think I might have said that. But I bought a Devour, like a mac and cheese microwave meal, and some cigarettes. So then across the street, there's like these apartments, and like the back of them, like where the balcony is facing towards that road, that
Yeah.
intersection, right
Yeah.
where the 7-Eleven is.
Uh-huh.
And on top of this rock, which is literally right outside someone's balcony on their apartment,
Yeah.
I climb up that rock because it just seemed like a cool view. And then I was smoking cigarettes up there. And I was so drunk that my phone, wallet, and keys fell down the crack of the rock. It was a big rock, too. So then I start to walk home, and I'm like, wait, where the fuck are my phone, wallet, and keys? So then I go to the 7-Eleven, and because I thought I'd dropped them there. So I go in the 7-Eleven, and I'm like drunk, stumbling around, like I'm like lifting up like Reese's Pieces and Butterfingers, being like, "Is my fucking phone here? Is my phone here? My keys here?" And then the guy's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it's Indian for that.
And then I was like, "I'm just looking for my phone, wallet, and keys. I can't get home. Please, I swear they're here under the Nutter Butters." And he's like, "I call cops right now.
Yeah.
I call cops right now." And I was like, "Could you give me a fucking take? I just need my phone and keys."
What time is it?
Dude, it's like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Bro. So the cops come, and dude, I was so drunk that like it's almost like a piece of my brain was missing or just not working.
Yeah.
Like the part of your brain that like stores like memory and common sense. So the cops come and they're like, okay, so you said you were looking for your phone, wallet, and keys. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, where's your car? And I was like, I don't know. I think someone stole it. But it was just at the bar.
And you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
So then they were like, how do you not remember where your car is? And I was like, I don't fucking know. It's just fucking fine. Well, my keys.
They're wasting these cops' time.
Bro. And so fucking nothing came of it. In fact, the only thing that came of it was the cops being there because of my drunk ass, then caught two dudes behind the 7-Eleven smoking crack in their car.
That's right.
So then the crackheads are like, fucking drunk idiot.
This guy.
If this guy hadn't fucking drinking too many Long Islands at the fucking bar, we'd be smoking crack, having the time of our lives in the 7-Eleven parking lot. So it's like, sorry guys, I'll go buy you some crack. Like, I'll make it up to you guys, right? No, I didn't say that. But, so the cops left. Bro, I just did not have the slightest clue where my phone, wallet, and keys were. And dude, like, if you don't have your wallet, you can lose and get away with. But your phone and keys.
Everything essential.
And I didn't know where my car was.
And you're drunk off your ass.
I did, like, dude, so in my head, I didn't have my phone, couldn't call anyone, didn't have my keys, couldn't get into my apartment, and in my head, someone had stolen my car, and I was drunk, wandering around, just like a homeless guy for fucking hours.
Yeah.
So I became like one of the tribe, like one of those people that does that.
Yeah.
Because that's like a whole community.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
They all hang around there too at that intersection.
yeah, I was like, all right, I guess I'm just one of you girls now.
You should have head back up the cliff and
I was like,
say it for it.
I was like, I saw him riddle this. Like, what do we do? Just sort of walk around, smoke cigarettes?
Find some crack.
They were like, yeah, well, you got my dealer fucking arrested, so we'll have to wait a week or two to do that.
The cops here.
Yeah. So, okay, so, dude, I'm telling you, just for, like, and I was so drunk, and I was so desperate just to get into my bed and sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't stop for, like, 1 minute. For literally, from 3 a.m. till 1 p.m. So, 10 hours. I was just walking around.
Where? Walking around the 7-Eleven, your apartment?
Just that entire area.
Yeah.
Like any single spot in that area you could think of, I walked around in circles for. And then, bro, dude, like the sun, like the light came out and it was blazing with the heat, and oh dude, it was just like, it was the most miserable experience I've ever experienced. Like, it was, I really can't believe that happened, dude.
It's so idiotic.
Yeah, and then so that thanks.
You already know.
I know. This store's giving me anxiety, bro. Just like that stuff was getting you.
Out of the
anxiety,
way,
bro.
right? Just hit the next stick.
Yeah, I gotta take a break,
Oh
and we'll be back with the conclusion.
my god. It's so scary, dude.
The worst part is that's not even the whole story.
I know. You got to keep going. If you can.
I can. I don't know if I couldn't without this. Okay. So, I then, so I was still pretty hammered and just tired and just fucked up. My brain started to work a little bit. I think it was like a piece of dirt that I ate that like gave me like some nutrients to my brain. It's a dumb joke. I didn't actually eat dirt.
I know.
I was close to it. I was starting to.
Did you feel anything though at 11 the first time you were
I
there?
didn't have my wallet.
The first time you were there. Like before you lost your wallet.
Please. I bought cigarettes and a frozen microwave meal.
Okay.
So I couldn't eat that.
What was the microwave meal? Were you walking around with it?
I think I just threw it into someone's, like,
Just pissed.
into the bed of someone's random truck, or I don't know. I was like, forget this. I already my fucking phone, wallet, and keys.
Okay.
So, dude, so then my brain starts to turn on a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the bar because it's open now. It's been open for hours. I was just too stupid to realize. And, like, see if my phone, wallet, and keys are there.
Yeah.
So I go there, and my car is there. I'm like, my car.
It's here. It's not stolen. You thought it was stolen that whole time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, the thief brought it back. That was so nice of them. No, I was
So pissed.
no, I know. I didn't actually think that. I was like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Of course. You drove here last night, got too drunk, someone else drove you home, and it got left here. Of course.
And your keys are going to be there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So then, okay, I also definitely have the times wrong. Because I got there before they opened. So that's why so I got there before they opened. So I had to, like, wait there for a couple hours for them to open. So then I went into the Walgreens to, like, use the bathroom. And this is, like, the timing could not have been any more perfect. Like, you would think it was like a movie, but as I'm coming around the corner, I almost literally, like in a movie scene, or the nerd bumps into the pretty girl,
Yeah.
bumped into Lily.
Yeah.
And then she was like, sorry, Matt? And I looked like fucking hell. She was like, are you okay? And I was like, no. I don't know. And
She told us you looked homeless, bro.
bro, it was bad. So then I don't even know what we said in exchange to each other, but I pretty much just explained, like, oh, I got too fucked up, and I'm pretty sure my wallet, phone, and keys are in this bar. I'm just waiting for them to open. She was like, do you want to, like, come into my... She was working at a bar and grill right next to the bar.
Yeah. And they do breakfast there, so they're open in the morning.
Yeah, so I think I went in there, and I got, like, some free hash browns or some shit.
Yeah.
So then I went outside, and then I went to go sleep in the grass.
Yeah.
And, but it was right by the main road, so it was so loud. I went back into I went into the bathroom of the bar and grill, got a bunch of paper towels, and put them in my ear to, like,
To drown out the noise?
yeah, so I could try and sleep.
Look more homeless.
Yeah, and then,
Look like a psycho.
and then like, in the piece of grass, there was, like, a tiny, like a little fucking brick wall, like, this tall. So there was, like, the tiniest bit of shade. So I, like, curled up like a worm in that tiny bit of shade and was trying to get some sleep, and I just could not sleep.
So dumb.
Sorry, this is a long story.
Bro, keep going.
So,
Again, this is one of my favorite stories.
so then I go into the bar, and this bartender I've never seen, because I've never been to this bar in the morning. And I explained the story, and then I was like, can you contact the bartenders from last night? And then she was like, dude, she was like a fucking boomer. She was like, oh, I have a flip phone. I don't even have any social media.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to contact
She
them,
doesn't wanna
get the
help you.
numbers. That's possibly it. I'm like, I'm helping this fucking weirdo.
This drunk.
That's possible.
This homeless guy that just walked in.
Yeah. She was like, oh, fucking, I gotta deal with this first thing in the morning.
His napkins in his ears, for fuck's sake.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Fucking, so then she was like, so then I, like, was Facebook friends with one of the bartenders. So she said, oh, the library's across the road. You could go there and log into your Facebook and try and message her.
Such a boomer move, by the way.
Yeah.
Hit the library, use one of their public computers.
Dude, so I did just that. I walked over to the library. Bro, the library was, like, dead empty, but there was one, like, special needs kid that would not stop screaming.
Yeah.
And I was, and on top,
And you're hungover.
bro, and Yeah, and I couldn't fucking figure out my Facebook password.
Oh.
So, dude, like everything that could have possibly went wrong was going wrong. And at this, I was getting close to like offing myself at this point. It was,
Christ.
bro, it was getting so bad, and I didn't know how much more I could handle. So then I just couldn't figure it out. So I went back to the bar, and the lady felt so bad. She gave me a free Bud Light.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh.
It's on the house. You
like-
drunk.
I was like, yeah, I've earned this Bud Light.
Fuck yeah, you fucking earned it, my God.
Fuck. So then I didn't know what to do. So I walked all the way back down to the 7-Eleven.
And this is Miles. We're talking Miles here.
Yeah, Miles. So that guy was still working.
Wow.
So I don't know how. He must have been low on money. He was doing a 12-hour or
Yeah.
something. But it's not, he wouldn't let me back in there. So I went across to the Maverick. So I was like, hey, can I use your phone? So they had like this like shitty old phone. So I called my parents, and I'm on the phone, and everyone's like staring at me because I look like fucking, I don't know. It's almost like you wouldn't draw much attention. Like a homeless person wouldn't draw much attention, but when a person that's clearly not homeless looks homeless,
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck's going on with this dude?
Clearly not homeless, but you can tell he just needs some help.
Yeah, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So then I told my parents, so they sent a locksmith to my apartment,
Oh, right.
and then they opened up the apartment door, and then I went in and I just kind of laid down for a few hours. But then I was like, oh, dude, no, I gotta find my shit. So then, bro, I walked all the way back to the bar
Oh, my God.
because I waited till like the bartenders that
Yep.
were with me last night were there, walked all the way back. They're like, nope, your wallet, keys, phone aren't here. So then I walked all the way back again, and then it was like nighttime. So I spent like 16 hours doing all this.
Just looking for your phone.
So
and keys.
so dude, it's nighttime. I walk by the rock that I was sitting on,
Yes.
and for whatever reason, when it became nighttime, like I saw the rock in the night because there was the person's balcony light was shining on the rock.
Uh-huh.
So that triggered a memory.
Yep.
It's like in The Hangover, you know, and they're like the whole movie they're looking for Doug.
Yep.
And at the very end, like what's the main guy, Phil or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it all comes back. He's like, I know where Doug is.
Stu.
Stu. Yeah, so I was like, the rock. The rock. So I go up to the rock, and then this is back when we used to watch Nelk.
Yeah.
So I think on the same merch drop that I bought this shirt,
Yeah.
I bought like a white snapback that said Steve will do it,
Uh-huh.
healthiest man alive on it.
Yeah.
So I found that hat up there. So I was like, okay, I know my shit's up here.
Whoa.
So then I looked down the rock. It took me 30 minutes to get all of my shit so far down the crack of the rock.
Oh, my
And I
God.
found my phone, wallet, and keys. And
Thank God.
and then I go home, and then I slept for 17 straight days.
Much deserved. Much deserved, dude. How long before you drank again after that? Because you must have been so fucking... just so much anxiety.
Yeah, I think 4 whole days.
Yeah, okay, that's... It's expecting something a little more.
No, I'm
As I crack.
Can I be honest with you?
Like Claw Surge. Thank you for this, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. It was almost like weirdly hard to tell that story.
Yeah, because you feel like a lowlife?
Yes.
Way?
Yes. But at the same time, like I just kind of relived it,
Yeah.
and it was. Could you imagine going through that?
No. But you know what I'm thinking? Like, I've heard this story like 3 times now. I laugh every time. I love this story. In a way, you're like a vigilante, dude. You fucking you got some crackheads busted that night. You were a man of the night.
Yeah.
You were a night crawler.
It would be funny if like I got invited down to Spokane City Hall, and they gave me like an award.
You got a key to the city. This man accidentally busts crackheads in the night.
Yeah, and it's almost like have you seen The Boys?
No.
Oh, but have you seen that meme where Homelander he's like this, and they start clapping? He's like,
You remember? Dude, I'm all right. I still always wanted to watch that show, dude.
yeah,
Have you watched it?
no.
Oh, okay.
I remember being at like my friends like a house that all my friends were living in one time, and they put it on, but I was so drunk I just could not watch it.
I feel like that's a good rec for the both of us. We need to watch it. I've heard it's great.
Yeah, I've heard it's great too. I've
Yeah.
heard great things.
Oh my god, I love that story though, dude. Just because it's a backstory to like this moment that was so clueless to us and our friend group for like a couple of years after that we did because we weren't talking or like hanging out. You know, you were living in Seattle, whatever, and when you moved out of the apartments that we lived in together, and I didn't know where you went, and then all of a sudden we were hanging out with Lily, and she was like, "Yeah, I saw Matt not that long ago. He was like laying in the grass, and I was I was at work, and he just looked homeless. He looked really down bad." And I remember just like feeling bad, dude. I was like, "Oh my god, maybe I should reach out."
That was that is like, I think it's just shit like that. That's like God is a sense of humor, bro. Like that's just like
yeah,
that. Let's dude. That would that on
it's a hell of a sense of humor.
that on its own. That on its own was so difficult to deal with. But then days after being like, oh, the fact that everything that happened, but I also saw Lily, so
Yeah.
I know she's gonna tell every single person I know.
Oh my god.
Oh, and then I don't really, I'm not able to explain myself.
Yo.
So then a part of me was thinking like they probably won't ever want to see me again because they're thinking like, oh, this classic story of like, you know, a guy starts drinking, becomes homeless, then gets then gets hooked on crack, then starts selling himself on the streets,
Instead, you were catching the crackheads.
and then moves back to Seattle because Aurora is where you go if you want to be successful in selling yourself.
God.
And then you find him dead in a ditch, and there's a Facebook post to honor his memory, and then life goes on.
No. Now we're here.
Now we're here.
And you haven't drank for a month.
Over a month.
Over a month. That's pretty crazy.
It's been
Something to be proud of.
it's been just over 5 weeks.
Yeah. Something to be proud of.
Yeah. You what? You want to do like 5 more minutes?
Whatever you want. We can.
It's 11:07.
I'm so worried that my mic wasn't on the first half hour. We can go as long as you want.
Fuck.
I don't even want to bring it up again, dude. I can't believe I was so like conscientious about keeping my mic close and making sure the audio was good. And then I looked down and my mic was off. So we might have to, if the mic was off, this podcast started at that Austin trip.
Well, okay, there's a couple of things. I think the best stories conversation were later in the pod once you realized
For sure.
and turned it on.
Yeah.
And another reason I didn't want to stop, because stopping to check, it wouldn't have fixed it, but it also then would have fucked up the flow of the pod.
And yeah, it would have just taken longer. I get that. Good move.
Yeah.
Good move.
And plus, you know, it would have annoyed us to like stop, fuck up the flow, and then be like, oh, I wasn't feeling
And
it.
we did find out the mic was off. It really would have messed with my mojo.
Yeah, exactly. And then me too. Then I would have started
But
beating you over the head with this.
I'm down to get into some like peeves, Rex, bit.
Yeah, but I guess
Or I would be down to do another Reddit story, Reddit confession. We only did one.
yeah, I'm down
Cause
because
have more.
I do, and they're so easy to find.
What time is it?
11:08.
Okay. I mean, I'm good on time if you want to keep going a little bit.
I guess I was mainly curious as to like. Oh,
No, you're good.
is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I was mainly curious to be like, is there a certain time where like?
We're good. Like I'm good on time, and I mean, you can edit it down. Again, I feel like my mic was off, so if we need to run a little long, that's cool. But I think we should do one more Reddit story, because I think that's a pretty good segment.
Yeah, well, cause that actually, you know, that story then led into us talking about all the stories of how we used to steal and shit,
Yeah.
and how we ultimately came to the conclusion like it's not even that bad of a confession.
It really isn't. It is, like I said, that guy was just stealing from a big corporation, which we were doing as well.
Mm.
We were just stealing from big corporations. Also, ours are very minimal compared to that guy stealing $20,000 worth of cash.
Well, also because I've had that story saved in my saved post for a while,
Yeah.
and like I remember the first time reading it, and for some reason in my head, I always pictured it was sort of like a scenario like with your company, your boss,
Uh-huh.
where he just robbed like one guy like stupid.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh wow, this is fucked.
I don't think anything like that has really ever happened to my boss or anybody in my life. I know
I guess
my boss has kind of
never
been
mind.
I know my boss has kind of been swindled for some cash, but like that's like it's something like where we did the work and then the people said they were going to pay and kind of kept saying they were going to pay
Yeah.
and then never did.
Uh,
And then when that happens, you can
Yeah.
you can put a lien on somebody's property, and so that when that person goes to sell their home or get like a inspection on their home, I guess is the word, they can't do that because somebody put a lien on their property. And by the time my boss did that, which this person like owed my boss like 20,000 or something,
yeah.
and it might have been more, it might have been like 25. And by the time my boss went to put a lien on their property,
Mm.
it had been over 90 days. And after 90 days, you have to go through a bunch of like lawyers and stuff. And I still don't think it was worth it. And my boss literally got swindled out of like all that money. And it sucked. It pissed him off for a long time.
Shit.
But it happens. That's the cost of being in business, dude. Just, again, I don't know if we'll even get to it. But when I flooded somebody's house, that was on him. Or not really. It was obviously on me. But it was the cost of being in business because he had an employee and it happened and insurances had to get involved and it kind of fucked his insurance a little bit. I felt bad, but also cost of being in business.
Yeah. Have you ever seen videos that go viral online of like people who do that, like, plumbers, electricians, or just carpenters? They do the job and then the person will like make up some sort of bullshit like, oh, we didn't agree on this price, like even though they clearly did.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not gonna pay you.
Yeah.
So then the people that did all the work start breaking shit.
To get back, I think I've heard of instances like that.
Like, let's say someone installs tile, like floors.
Yeah.
The person doesn't pay. Then they just get a hammer and start smashing the tile.
Yeah. That's funny. Like something similar to that. Like I won't even say names or who knew this person, but somebody affiliated with somebody I know once went to like just stop at a gas station and go in and use the restroom on a road trip or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a road trip. It was like in their town. And the gas station clerk wouldn't let them use the restroom because they weren't a paying customer. And this person was so pissed and like held grudges so hard that he went back. He like waited. He waited and went back a year later,
Yeah.
went into the bathroom and just busted the sink off and left. And just left the water running all over the fucking floor and just did $1,000 in damage.
Jeez.
People hold a grudge. There's people out there that will just wait and eventually get back. You can never really win.
You know what they say? Revenge is a dish best served cold.
So true.
Fucking
So
hell.
true.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think I'm starting to catch a little buzz.
Really?
made me laugh really hard there.
I'm just looking through. Also, on these subreddits, you can filter by like the most popular ones.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the most popular ones of all time because I want a juicy one.
Uh-huh. A juicy one.
I don't think we should do this one, but because it's pretty heavy, and it's also like pretty long, and I'm more in like want something funny. This one's kind of sad. It just says today's my 28th birthday, and I'm going to end it tomorrow.
Oh my God, we're not doing that one.
I know.
Dude, that's so depressing.
I know.
That is not the wave I'm trying to ride.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we'll do it another time. If we're feeling like sad or hungover or something.
Sipping on this pod sauce. I'm not feeling sad, bro.
No, I feel it. Same. In fact, okay, I'm gonna read titles and you say which one you think is the most interesting.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, the most popular one of all time on this subreddit is neighbor tried to get my mom fined over our shed, so I got his $40,000 pool filled in.
Okay, keep going.
I faked liking sparkling water for 3 years and now I'm trapped.
Nah, dead.
This one's retarded. How is that one so high up in popularity? I gaslit my college library out of late fees by returning my own books.
Nah.
Stupid. When I was a kid, I drugged my dad for a whole month.
Bingo.
Yeah?
I like it.
All right, let's do it.
Wait, is this a confession?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Was this super long?
no, it's actually not.
Okay.
That's another thing. The other like depressing one was like crazy long.
Yeah, we don't need nothing.
Would have taken like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Let me prepare.
Get ready for some confessions.
Does that taste good, by the way?
This?
Yeah.
Blood orange? Yeah. Blood orange is like my least favorite of the surges. I think cranberry is my favorite. And also blackberry or black cherry is pretty good. But blood orange is good. It's just not my favorite of the surges.
Remember how I told you I bought one and forgot it?
Yes.
The one I bought you originally was a pineapple.
Oh, was it a surge or just a
Surge.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've had that.
Yeah, well.
Well, it'll be waiting for me, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like the fans are going to think I'm an alcoholic because I've been drinking for 2 pods straight, but just helps me on the mic.
You're not. In fact, my brother-in-law, when he was doing his podcast, him and all his friends are like Hispanic.
Yeah.
So like they were always just having Modelo's on the pod.
Yeah.
They were always concerned that people would think they're alcoholics too.
By the way, I love Modelo's.
They're fucking amazing.
So good.
Yeah, and then some people would comment like, damn, you guys drink on every pod, not a good look.
Fuck off.
I know, right? It's like,
Fuck off.
bro, they wouldn't be like shotgunning or chugging them, having like 8 beers in one episode.
Yeah.
They'd have like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And, yeah, but they were just kind of self-conscious about it for a little bit. But that's only just because,
It's just helping me find my podcast voice.
nah, dude. But I know you personally, and I can say you're not a drunk.
Appreciate that.
I mean, every now and then you can get a little drunk, and drunk you is like my favorite person on earth.
Happens to the best.
Yeah. Mark Norman, Lionel Messi, Drunk Coleman.
Favorite people on earth. God, I'm honored.
And
I'm honored.
Danny DeVito.
Love it. Shout out Frank Reynolds.
Yeah. I was going to say him, but then I saw him in my peripheral.
I can't remember that character's name from that episode.
I think it was from the episode Sweet D made a smut film.
Oh my god. Such a classic, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
All right.
Read the title again for me.
When I was a kid, I drugged my dad for a whole month.
This is terrifying.
It says warning, contains abuse.
Okay.
My father was a raging asshole. He used to beat us and yell at us about how worthless we were constantly. My mother finally had enough and said that either he gets psychological help or she leaves him. He went to the doctor and was prescribed an antipsychotic medication. When he started taking it, he magically became nice. No more beatings, no more yelling. It was paradise. Then after a while he turned mean again. We asked our mom what was going on, and she said that he stopped taking his medication because he didn't like the side effects, whatever that meant. We felt doomed until one day my mom accidentally left his prescription bottle in the kitchen. My sister and I looked at each other, didn't even have to say a thing. She got out a spoon and I ground the white pill into powder and we put it in his orange juice. What a nice day we had. We did this every single day, enjoying our temporary happy home until the prescription ran out. It was the best month of our childhood and I'm not sorry.
Oh my God. Short and sweet.
That's not nearly as... Some of these titles, you're like, oh, this is going to be rough.
Man, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, no, it's not bad at all. In fact, I'm rooting for this guy.
So let me get it straight. So the dad was abusive.
Yeah.
The mom gave him an ultimatum. You got to get psychological help. They prescribed him this medication. He didn't want to take it, so the kids crushed it up and put it in the orange juice for him. Is that what I'm getting at? Or he was taking it and they were giving him extra?
No, so he was it didn't even say anything about substance abuse. He must have just had like a mental illness. So he went to a psychologist. They put him on antipsychotic medication. He started taking it. He was super nice. Then he stopped taking it again because he didn't like the side effects. And then the mom like accidentally left the meds out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
For the kids to have access to. And then when no one was looking, this guy and his sister like crushed it up and then put it in the dad's orange juice. Because they originally saw how he was taking it and how he was
better.
Yeah, like being
okay.
Yeah. And so that doesn't seem bad at all.
It doesn't. I just feel bad for the kids. They were just trying to help their dad.
Yeah, they're like
I don't know what to think of this one.
I don't think... Okay, another thing people do is when these blow up and get really popular and get lots of comments, people like edit the post, give context, and answer questions people are asking in the comments. This person wrote, edit, for those saying that antipsychotics take weeks to work, that's not always the case. In contrast, antidepressants often take weeks to work. People have commented that they've taken antipsychotics such as Latuda, Promazine, and Seroquel, and they claim they feel the effects in hours. FYI, I have no memory of exactly what drug he was on. Some people wanted to know more about my home life. If you want, you can learn about it in my short story here. Oh, not clicking that.
Nah.
Wow, thanks for all your kind words and the award. This is unexpected but greatly appreciated. To those that asked, I'm doing fine now and live a blessed life. And no, I don't recommend people do this at home. I was just a kid during desperate times.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was saying. They were just, I feel bad for the kids. They were just trying to make their life better if they were dealing with an abusive dad.
Yeah, and then there's no like... I was expecting it to go from that to like, then we were kids, so we accidentally gave him too much, so we overdosed.
Or something, yeah, something like that.
Well, that's what I was, and then like...
If I didn't take the direction I thought.
And then the police got involved. They thought my mom was drugging him, so she got sent to prison. And then we went to a fucking foster home, and then we started getting SO'd. And
I didn't think he was going that way. That's a little far.
That's where my mind thought I was gonna go, and I was like, "Oh wow, that was like at the end of a Disney movie.
Real far.
That was a happy ending."
And we lived happily ever after.
Yeah, we lived
in an orphanage.
And we lived happily ever after, as long as Dad was still on his anti-psych meds.
Jesus Christ, that is kind of crazy though. To just like,
as a kid,
hey sis, mom left the pills out. What should we do?
In the fucking story, I don't know if this is exaggerated, but he said they didn't even have to discuss it. They just like knee-jerk reaction, crushed the pill up and snuck it in.
Yeah, it was a given.
I just wish he said how old he was.
Yeah, true.
Like, were they like
teenagers?
Part of me feels like
because they knew to crush it up and put it in.
Or maybe they only knew because that's how they saw the mom do it in the past.
Oh. Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like he would have specified if he was a teenager, but he said I was just a kid.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, kind of goes both ways. I mean, the dad's obviously a fucking douche.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the kids.
I guess the only, I guess you do have sympathy because it's not like the dad was like doing drugs and alcohol. He was just someone who genuinely suffered from mental illness.
Yeah, he had problems.
Yeah.
He needed to be on something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Too deep. Too deep. Too deep.
Fuck. I mean, deep, yeah, but like not, the story wasn't that bad.
No, no. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Fuck. I like,
Confessions.
I'm dude, with confessions, you're almost like wanting like a crazy one.
Yeah.
Like with both ones, like it seemed like it was going to be crazy, but then I was like, no, I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Kind of true.
In fact, I'm glad you did it.
I'm glad you helped yourself. First guy bought a house. Second guy lived a blessed life.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Jeez, can we fucking find one where the person's life goal just goes to shit, bro? Fuck.
I'm trying to think of if I have any like confessions.
Well, fucking don't say them on here.
Nothing. No, I'm not trying to think of anything too bad.
Oh, you're just thinking in your head if you do.
Yeah, just some harmless confessions. Like,
Oh, this one's interesting. It's pretty short too.
okay,
I paid a couple of girls to feign interest in my mate.
feign interest in my mate. What does that even mean?
I paid a couple girls to pretend they liked my friend.
Oh, okay. All right, let's hear it.
Interesting one, huh?
Let's hear it.
It's pretty short too.
Okay.
I've got a mate who's nearly 30 now. To be honest, he's not a great looking bloke, but more importantly, he's had no experience with girls ever, which sucks because he's genuinely a great dude and maintains friendships with some girls, but he tends to friend zone himself before asking one out. He suffered pretty hardcore anxiety and depression and hates going out. So this year at my birthday, one of the only events he'll come out for, because he's a great bloke and knows it means a lot to me, I asked a couple of random girls if I could shout them a drink, and they could just compliment my mate on something and have a small chat. No obligation to be anything, but just polite and nice. And my lord, he's been a different dude ever since. His confidence has skyrocketed. He's even asking when we're going out next. If he ever found out what I did, I genuinely think he would never leave the house again.
I'm all for that one, dude. That guy's the best wingman ever. He just built his buddy's confidence. Come on. That's a beautiful story. He should never tell his mate he did that.
No.
And he has a better friendship now.
Yeah, and like it's not like he had like malintent behind it. He was just trying to help his friend.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever pay like women to do that. Like, you know, if you were down in the Ducks and we were out and I paid somebody to go up to you and build your confidence, but I might buy him a drink to go up and give you some compliments.
Yeah, I mean, the way he worded it was weird. I asked a couple of random girls if I could shout them a drink.
Oh, okay, that's what he's saying. He shouted them a drink, so he did buy them a drink.
Yeah.
To just go up and compliment his mate. So first off, where's this guy from? Shouted them a drink. It's his mate, his bloke. Is that what he said, his bloke?
Maybe England or Scotland.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard those exact terms in Ireland, but I'm guessing they're English or Scottish.
That's a win in my book. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's a good wingman.
No, it is, because obviously he did it, like, I mean, it'd be in other contexts, if he had done this to then, like, laugh, like, at his friend, like, these girls obviously don't like you fucking here. Obviously, that would be bad, but, like, but he did it because, like, he genuinely liked the dude and wanted to help him out.
Yeah.
So, but it's also one of those things where it's like, he cannot let the friend find out.
True. But how could the friend ever find out? The friend's not going to find out.
No, I know. That's why, he just had to, like, tell someone. That's why he wrote in
Yeah, it's
this
a confession. Damn.
Yeah, because could you imagine that? Like imagine how you would feel if, like, the first time you ever, like, got girls or a girl was because I paid them to, like, be nice to you. Not even hook up with you, just be nice to you.
But that's the thing. I'm never going to find out. And then you built my confidence, so I have enough confidence to go up and talk to other women.
I understand. It's one of those things where it's really not that bad, but it would kind of just, it would weirdly, like, hurt in a way.
It would if the mate ever found out. It would. It would hurt
It would.
because it would totally blow his confidence.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but then again, if he kept riding that wave and progressed,
Keep
and
riding the wave.
like, oh man.
Shit.
I mean, you okay? Like, yeah, it's weird because there's nothing in the story where it's like, oh, that was bad, that was a fucked up thing to do. But at
No.
the same time, like, if the friend found out, do you know what would this be like? It will almost be like, okay, let's just say, for example, let's just say like Jaden was fighting a guy, and he was on a losing streak. And for context, Jaden's our friend who's an MMA fighter. Like, let's just say, for example, Jaden was on a losing streak, so then his coach paid his opponent to throw the fight, and then he knocked the guy out
Yeah.
because he took a dive. But then that footage went viral, and then the UFC reached out to him. But then because of the confidence that he developed from that fight, he then became like a killer and then became a UFC champion. And then he found out years later that the only reason he won that initial fight that boosted him to superstardom was because his coach paid the guy to take a dive.
You gotta hope he never finds out.
Fuck.
Holy
Shit's
shit.
sake.
That's
It would be because. Do you almost weirdly think the guy would feel like betrayed at all?
a little bit. It is wrong, but I don't feel like I feel like he's a good friend for doing it.
No, he is. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It is a
they're by no means saying like questioning whether this guy's like a good friend or not,
Yeah.
or an asshole.
that is funny.
It is one of those weird things where it would almost like because if you change if this one like false act of kindness or like fake act of kindness like boosted your confidence and then you use that to propel yourself to like change your entire life,
Yeah.
it would be kind of weird to be like everything good that's ever came in my life was built off a lie.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt if the mate ever finds out, but
Yeah. Like,
as far if he doesn't, then it worked out for the best.
I'm almost weirdly curious if the guy's like, I'm never going to tell him, or if the guy's being like, I'll tell him, but I'll wait like 10, 20 years. Or I wait if like he gets married.
By
Or
that
becomes a playboy.
by that point, never tell him. Don't ruin his ego. I love how every confession we're like, yeah, you're totally right. It's all good.
Yeah. Fucking. No. In fact, do you know what's going to happen in this story? Fucking that guy's going to use the confidence he developed to like become a fucking womanizer alpha and start banging every girl around town. And then him and his mate are going to be drunk. And then he's going to be like, you're just mad because I get more pussy than you.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, Jack? You don't let me talk to that one girl that night because I fucking paid them to. And he's like, yeah, right. He's like, oh, yeah? I still follow Brittany on Instagram. Let's ask her. Hey, Brittany, did this? Oh, yeah. You bought me and my friend a Mai Tai, and then we told your friend his shirt looked cool, even though it was a fucking dumbass shirt. And then, yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, why do you ask? And then he's like, whoa.
See, then it's fucked. Then it's a bad confession.
Yeah, well, it's just all. Well, yeah, but as of right now, like it's like wholesome.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
But the thing is, it's one of those things where it just takes like a little bit of alcohol and then a little bit of anger for that to come out and just ruin the whole friendship.
Fuck. Nah, we just gotta hope that never happens. This is a good confession.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
This is a good one.
this is a good one.
I would do it for you.
Would you?
I don't know. My dog.
That's so nice of you.
I would hope you do it for me. I think. I don't. Okay, yeah. I would hope you do it for me and then never tell me. I'm okay with that. Secrets are okay if they're for a good cause.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this might have happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
I'm not like the majority. I think in terms of whether I think it did happen or not, the majority of me thinks yes.
Is this a secret of yours? Is this a confession that isn't yours, but you think it's a confession for somebody else?
No, this actually happened to me.
Oh, you did this for somebody else?
No,
Or it's just a similar instance?
someone else did it for me.
Okay. Tell.
I don't really feel like ashamed or embarrassed to say it,
Uh-huh.
especially because it was so long ago.
Mhm.
So, I've told you about how I moved to Ireland when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I moved.
You were a kid or a teenager?
Oh, teenager.
Yeah.
So I guess just because it was so long ago,
Yeah.
like I was a kid compared to now.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously grew up. I mean, it's obviously for context for the pod, but grew up in Seattle my whole life. Family's from Ireland. After high school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I kind of just wanted to. I went to Ireland that summer, and I always like wanted to experience Ireland more because I would only ever go for a couple weeks in the summer. So I moved to Ireland, and it was really, really tough. Like, because I lived with my grandparents, like in like the small town that my mom grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a really kind of small town, like mentality, very cliquey. They didn't like outsiders. So, like everyone like hated me. Not they either hated me or were just indifferent towards me. They were like, "Oh, I don't really give a shit about that American kid." So it was hard for me to make friends. And then obviously that on top of the fact that like the fucking excited delirium of the fact that I was old enough here to drink, where in America I wasn't, because I was like 18, 19.
Right.
So I just started like drinking a lot. And because I had no friends, I would just drink by myself and play video games. So I, similar to how I was when you first met me, actually like what I was like when you first met me, moving to Ireland, this happening is what kicked this all off. This
Yeah.
is how I got into like drinking heavy, became super fat,
Yeah.
just like a slob. So I didn't have any friends. Oh, and dude, fucking like I've told you, I had Bell's palsy,
Yep.
and so I got it the summer of my senior year. So my entire summer of my senior year after graduating, all my friends ditched me. They
Yeah.
wanted to be around me.
Yeah.
So it destroyed my confidence. I had no social skills.
Uh-huh.
And when I moved to Ireland, I still had it. So everyone thought I was like retarded.
Yeah.
So it was just really hard to get girls.
Yeah.
Even talk to them,
Half your face was drooling.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I came across, so you don't know this, you don't have social media, but on Instagram it will suggest people for you to follow that like you have mutual friends with or that are in your area.
Mm-hmm.
So this suggested friend came up for me, and he was a kid living in the same town that I was living in Ireland, but he was from Boston.
Okay.
So I followed him and I messaged him, and so then he was throwing a party. So then I went to the party and like became friends with him and these other guys, and I started hanging out with them, and then like, I kind of told them about like my situation, how my life was going, and they felt kind of bad for me.
Yeah.
So I went out to the bar with them one time, and I saw this one guy that I was friends with named Jordan.
Okay.
His name was Jordan McDade.
Okay.
He was actually kind of a prick, but he did this one nice thing for me. If what I think he did, he actually did. But I'm pretty sure he like told this girl to like make out with me, like out of pity.
But she did.
She did.
Could have been totally out of pity then. She obviously thought you were cute.
No,
She made out with you.
maybe she was like, let me crush a few more Guinness and then I'll come back to you about this potential prospect.
Prospect.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not 100% sure. It's possible she did just think I was cute and like it was just kind of like a drunken hookup. But I think that might be the case.
It sounds like it did happen to you, and it sounds like it worked. Did it bring you back? Were you back?
Sorta, but like
Good wingman situation.
things definitely got harder still. That's why I moved back to the U.S.
Ah,
But I mean, it definitely,
I helped in the moment.
yeah. I mean, it's not like I ever like found out like officially like heard from someone else like, oh yeah, he definitely did do that.
Yeah.
Um, but a part of me is just like, I think that's the case. And like, even though I realized that, I wasn't like, fuck him.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe this other guy in the story would feel the same.
I would like to think so. Again, it's a good confidence booster, and it worked. In the long run, it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Maybe not for you. I mean, you were still moved back to the U.S. and kind of
Turned it around eventually.
eventually, look at you now.
Yeah.
You're on the Doe Show, getting all these subscribers and viewers.
Yo, fucking,
But
jeez.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, let's see. 2.5 hours.
do you have any peeves or wrecks? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I figure we'll just do this and then finish.
Yeah.
Because it's 11:41.
Perfect.
And I need to get a good night's sleep tonight.
Same.
Yeah, pet peeves, Rex, in a bit. So let's do pet peeves. So I go, then you go.
Okay.
Then Rex, I go, you go, and
Okay.
then bits. Unless you want to go first.
No, you go. You go. If you got one on mind, I gotta think real quick.
Fuck, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have one specific. Like, did you just think of one?
Yeah, I got a good, or I don't have a good one. I got a peeve. It's you know what? You know what my peeve is, and it's something you and Jaden talked about on the last pod. It's my peeve is road rage.
Like other people getting road rage or people doing dumb shit that gives you road rage?
Both. I hate when I see other people getting road rage because it just drives me nuts. Just stay calm. Like, I get you might be having a bad day, but there's no reason to be acting out on the road. It never comes. You always feel like a dirtbag afterwards, and at least I do. And every time I get it, I absolutely feel like a dirtbag afterwards. And I have like a couple instances in particular where I got road rage, and I wish I never did, because like it's just always better when you stay calm, even if you have to let the other person win. Like it just don't do it. It never, nothing good ever comes from it. And road rage is just a huge pet peeve of mine because I don't get it that often. But when I do, I always feel like shit afterwards. When I get home from the drive, I'm like, I didn't need to be honking at that person. I didn't need to do that. I would feel better if I just let that person win. If I let that person get in front of me, it would have been fine.
Yeah. Do you know what I've never done,
What?
but I've thought about doing a couple times?
Uh-huh.
So I'll have like a metal water bottle
Yeah.
that's in my cup holder,
Yeah.
and then someone will do something so stupid on the road. I've strongly considered almost done, pulled up next to them and just thrown my metal water bottle at them.
That's almost like a weapon. I feel like you could get in trouble with the law for
Yeah, and the thing is, empty, it would just bounce off. I think if you threw it hard enough and it was filled with water, so it was heavier, I think it would break their glass.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Yeah,
It definitely would.
yeah, but obviously, I knew not to do that.
But that's
So I've never done that.
Yeah, and that's my peeve for tonight. It always makes you feel like shit, whether it goes both ways, whether you're the one getting road rage or somebody else is getting it towards you. You always feel like shit. You wish you just like kind of gave in. At least I do, because you just want to be the bigger man at the end of the story. And I was gonna save that for a pod when you, me, and Jaden were on, because you and Jaden talked about it, and I wanted to get into it a little bit, which we still can in the future.
Yeah, and I just know that like Jaden could riff on road rage.
Yeah.
Dude, Jaden gets such bad road
And
rage.
I had some other peeves earlier in the day. I'll think of them next time we do a pod. But
Yeah.
that's my peeve for the night.
No, it's a fair one. That's a very common one too.
Yeah, 100%.
A peeve of mine. This isn't something I've experienced lately because honestly, currently, the two people I talk to the most and like consistently are you and Jaden.
Uh-huh.
And you guys know me. I'm like, I know I can be like a smartass and like just like always joking around, but you know, you guys know what I'm like. You know, I'm not actually like being a dick. Like, I'm just joking around. But my pet peeve is people that like don't really understand me and my humor and what I'm like as a person, or if someone just for some bizarre reason, even if they know me well, think I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit makes me so in fact, like it makes me the most annoyed when it's my own family.
Yeah. They take you out of context.
Yeah, or like I'll say something where it's like I've always been like it's not like I say anything like super disrespectful. It's just kind of like dry humor, like even just shit when I'm like is that a baby? And I look at your baby monitor.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just like stupid dumb jokes.
And people are like, yeah, it's obviously a fucking baby.
Yeah, and then they look at me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you an idiot?
Take a fucking joke.
Yeah, like
No, I know what you're saying.
you think I'm being serious?
I know what you're saying.
Like, dude, one that made me so mad one time was I was having like so me and my sister got in a big argument, and then it kind of blew up into something bigger. So I was having a family discussion, with my sister, dad, and brother-in-law, and then my dad always takes my sister's side,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, when me and my sister have arguments. And that's another pet peeve that I'll say for another day.
Got you.
But
We'll get into that more another.
yeah, but so me and my brother-in-law, when we started doing podcasting, would do it in the garage.
Yeah.
So my dad, like, we would say, like, he'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, "Oh, we're going to the garage to film a podcast." And then he would come down to the garage, and then he'd open the door, and he would act surprised, like, "Oh, sorry." And then, it's totally fine
Yeah.
because it's his fucking house. He's the
Yeah.
one who paid for it.
Right.
So it's like, do whatever you want. Plus, it's not like some huge important program that he's fucking up.
Uh-huh.
So he just wanted to like see the podcast like live in action,
Uh-huh.
and like loads of people do.
So he should just come in and sit down.
Yeah, so it's no big deal. So like at a family dinner, I made a joke like, "Oh yeah, dad always like pretends like he's getting something from the garage and acts surprised when we're filming." He's like, and then so during this like argument with me and my sister, my dad brought it up and said that like me making that joke really hurt his feelings.
Oh, wow.
And how I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
That made me so mad.
But he took it out of context because you were making a joke.
Yeah, and it's like, Dad, you're my dad.
Yeah.
You've known me for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
You think so you think that was me genuinely trying to hurt you.
Yep.
I was just trying to hurt my own dad's feelings for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
There's no possible way I was just making a joke.
Yep.
I'm getting fired up, dude. Dude, that was fucking.
Let's not get into family drama right now.
Yeah.
No, that is a good peeve because I know what you're saying. All right. Wrecked.
Rex,
I've got a couple wrecks.
you go first.
My first wreck is one that I've been doing for months now because I've had some major back problems, mainly from work, and I think sleeping on my back wrong. But my biggest wreck is stretching.
Stretching.
Just stretching every
Yeah.
consistently. Whether you have body problems or not, stretching is going to prolong those problems majorly. So that's my biggest wreck tonight is just stretching. It's helped me tremendously, and I didn't do it for so long, and I've been working, physical labor for 6 or 7 years now, and I just got into stretching this last year, and it's been helping a lot. So that's my biggest wreck is just stretching.
You do it every day.
Every day. At least like 30 minutes. It usually takes me like 45 minutes to get them all.
In the morning before you go to bed.
Excuse me. At night.
Okay.
Usually before bed. I might even do it in bed, like while we're watching a show or something. And I'll just do it in bed. Might do it while I'm hanging out with the baby at night or something. But it helps a lot. So that's my biggest rec. My second rec is a TV show. I have 2 TV shows, both on Apple TV. One of them is called The Studio with Seth Rogen.
Okay.
It's super funny. Ike Barinholtz is in it. Catherine Hahn is in it. It's so funny. It's just about like Hollywood. It's like about a made up Hollywood studio. It's super funny. I love Ike Barinholtz especially. He's hilarious in it. Bryan Cranston is in it. He's really funny in it. It's a great show. Another show I've been watching simultaneously. Yes, simultaneously with The Studio because they come out weekly episodes. I'm on like the last episode of each. But I think it's called Your Friends and Neighbors or My Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. Very good show. It's like about it's like a rich neighborhood and this guy loses his job, so he has to get in. So he gets into like thievery and like stealing, and he steals like expensive stuff from his neighbors and like his friends, and because he knows their schedules and stuff, so he goes in at night and he's still, I don't know, it's good. It has Olivia Munn in it, who she's gorgeous. She's great too. I love it. It's a good show. So 2 shows, Apple TV Plus and Stretching. Couldn't recommend it more.
I like that you said stretching because whenever they do recs, they always just recommend shows or movies.
Yeah.
I never thought just to
We
recommend.
got to get into lifestyle and health, man. We got to start thinking about our bodies.
Yeah. In fact, before I get into mine, I only stretch if I work out with Jaden because he has these specific stretches he does.
Gotcha.
And, bro, he's like so much more flexible than me.
Yeah.
And some of the stretches that we do, I like really, really feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like
I find myself getting a lot more flexible. Like right now, I'm almost to the point where I can stand up straight, keep my legs completely straight, and touch my palms fully to the ground. I've never been able to do that, like as far as I can remember. So it's pretty accomplishing, and it just feels good to be able to do that without it hurting like super bad.
yeah.
So it's key. It's a key point.
Yeah. So my rec, so I don't have a lifestyle one.
How's it?
Okay, actually, I mean, I guess I just thought of this just like literally just now,
Yeah.
but I would recommend smoothies
Hell yeah.
because on my weight loss journey, I came across a video on Instagram. This guy was like, here's a smoothie that's like super easy to make that helped me lose 70 pounds.
Yeah.
So I bought a blender from Walmart for like cheap, like dumb cheap.
Yeah.
And then so this smoothie, it's you put like milk, a banana, like peanut butter too. Peanut butter, it's sort of like a powder. It's pretty much like peanut butter but healthier.
Gotcha.
Like chia seeds, whey protein, honey, and ice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put in a little bit of like instant coffee
Okay.
and I blend it up. It's so easy to make.
All right.
And then like I have it like instead of just having water, because I have eggs and toast, instead of just having water with it, I have that too.
Cool.
Dude, I
love
love it.
I love it. We used to do smoothies and we stopped doing it for whatever reason, but I like that. You might get me back into it. Can I add a rec for your smoothies?
Sure, I've never tried another one.
Greek yogurt.
Oh, okay. You're saying just add that too.
No, a rec for your smoothies. Greek yogurt. It adds protein and more flavor. Vanilla, honey, Greek yogurt. I used to do that in mine. So good.
Cool.
I love smoothies.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I've always loved smoothies. I just never went out on my own to get a blender. I started making
Did you say fruits? What kind of fruits are you putting in?
Oh, just banana.
Okay. See, because we would put like frozen strawberries and blueberries in them too.
Yeah, Jaden and Kate mainly Kate recommended a smoothie to me that apparently is really good for weight loss. It's pineapple, pears, and kale.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But you haven't tried it yet.
No, I've been doing it for a month now, every day,
Gotcha.
and I've only done this one smoothie.
Like
So I'll probably switch it up soon.
all right. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I love it. Fucking
That's a good rec. That is a good rec.
yeah.
Lifestyle rec.
Yeah, but I love it. I almost get excited when I wake up in the morning. I make like my sourdough bread with eggs, and then my smoothie. I like, but
Something good to look forward to.
yeah, and then I've meal prep. I have enough meal prepped meals for 3 weeks in my freezer,
Whoa, let's go.
and it's all like really good shit too.
Hell yeah.
Feels awesome.
Was tonight kind of a cheat day with eating our dinner? Because it was kind of a carb load, huh?
A little bit, but at the same time, I've just been learning a lot more about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm realizing, honestly, yeah. So I didn't, for the longest time, I was like, how do people figure out how many calories they burn in a day?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you burn calories if you don't work out?
Uh-huh.
But I looked it up online. You can plug in your gender, your age, and your height, and then it will tell you how much, like based on science, the average amount of calories you burn.
Got you.
Even if you lay in bed all day,
Right.
like you will burn, for me, it's 1,800 calories.
Huh.
So, like, I'm realizing that all that really matters is that you have a caloric deficit. So if you burn 1,800, even just by doing nothing, not working out, as long as you're consistently eating like less than that, so like you're burning 1,800, consuming 1,400, even if you don't work out, but you consistently do that every day, you will lose weight.
Got you.
But then the only thing is too is like it's important to weight lift because you don't want to lose fat and muscle because then you'll become really weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. But I mean, like,
That's great.
don't want to go on too long because
No.
it's coming. It's been 2 hours 43 minutes. So
Okay.
we'll wrap this up in a couple minutes. But
Let's wrap it up. I don't have any bits. Do you have any bits?
I do.
I'm down to hear it because I have one more thing to add after your bit.
I do. I'll give a rec to this one guy's podcast I discovered.
Okay.
He has he has an Instagram called Daddy Wellness where he has like this character he does.
Okay.
But this guy named Jordan Welch, who I really like, went on this guy's podcast,
Uh-huh.
and it's a really small podcast. Like this episode only has 2.4K views.
Okay.
And his podcast channel is 12.5K views.
Got you.
But I enjoyed the shit out of it. I actually love discovering like a new person.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
So that was really cool. So I subscribed to it. I'm gonna start watching this shit.
I like it.
And it's also just cool to see someone else on the come.
And say it again. Who was it?
Oh, okay. So, fuck, I don't know his actual name, but he's most known for his Instagram, which has like 1 million followers.
Okay.
It's called Daddy Wellness, where
Daddy
he kind of does
Wellness.
this like funny character.
Got you.
But the podcast name is TSL Time Podcast.
All right.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess the only other thing is a bit.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't have one.
Yeah, and so the last time we did a pod, I suggested we do this, like the pet peeves, Rex, in a bit.
Yeah.
Mainly because I had a bit in mind,
Uh-huh.
and then I totally forgot the bit. But now I remember what bit I was gonna.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, so this bit, and also like the idea I told you. So I'll tell you the bit now, and then we'll make like a little video where like it cuts from like me telling the bit to like me trying it.
I'm super excited for this.
Let's go. Okay, so basically I have an idea for a bit where so I haven't been drinking, and I'll like, kind of say that. And the bit is pretty much like, yeah, so I never really have a problem with stopping drinking, but my problem is it's never for any like cool or exciting reason that I start drinking again, like a really sexy girl like DMs me on Instagram like, hey, you want to hit the bar, or I'm at like a rave and I just end up getting drunk. It's always something really stupid where it's like Applebee's like changed their price of Long Island's from $4 to $3, and then I'm like, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get fucked up at Applebee's. So it's something really stupid like that.
I like it, actually.
Yeah?
I do. You heard me chuckle. I like it. I like it. I would chuckle in the audience for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be a good bit.
All right.
Yeah, and obviously I'll build off it a bit more.
Yeah.
But fucking
So then eventually we'll get to you saying this bit in a club or a bar,
Yeah.
and we can show it on the pod.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of your whole idea, right? Is to build a bit and
Honestly,
And
you know what it's really similar to? Mark Norman's Page the Stage.
page the stage. I know. But that's a great idea, and especially Mark Norman wouldn't get mad. It's not like you're stealing his idea. You're really just riffing off of it, and hell, maybe one day you could get big enough to make it to page the stage.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it could possibly catch his attention because, like, maybe there's a couple idiots that'd be like, "Hey, you're ripping off Mark Norman."
Yes.
So then they message Mark, like, "Hey, this guy's stealing your shit."
Yes.
But it's not, it's a similar premise, but I'm not completely ripping him off. I'm
Yeah.
taking a similar idea premise
Okay.
and just putting my own spin on it.
Yep. I like it.
And then, like, the type of guy Mark is, I feel like, unless there's something about me where he's like, "Fuck this guy,"
Nah, he wouldn't.
I feel like he'd be like, "Hey, I respect that."
Yeah. I think you're right. I like it. I actually do.
It's also like I think it's also like little things like that, creating little bits of content like that. If you're like a really small time, like, guy, like trying to, dip your foot in the water of comedy and
Mhm.
entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
that can like get your name out there.
Yeah. For sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm glad you had a bit.
Yeah.
Because I do not. I had one last time we did a pod, and I cringed at it, but I'm glad I'm also glad
I remember. It wasn't bad.
I'm also I'm glad I had a bit to provide. But I did want to add one more thing to our little ending segment here, which is an apology, because the first 42 minutes of this podcast, I'm terribly afraid that my mic was off, so it's going to be some fun editing for you, and it might this podcast might start at the point where we're just telling an Austin story, and there was 40 minutes prior to that, and this but also if my mic was on, then this is just a really long podcast, and that's okay too. But I'm really sorry.
This is like a Rogan length pod.
I know, and that's okay. But also it might not be, because my mic might have been off the first 42 minutes, and I'm very sorry for that, because I was really trying to have good audio for this podcast. So I hope it wasn't off. If it wasn't, then you can decide if you want to, provide the full length podcast to the YouTubes. But if it was off, I'm sorry, and I apologize.
Bro, you're learning too, bro.
I know. So we'll see. We'll find out. You'll let me know if it was off or not. But I feel bad, and we'll see what happens.
In fact, do you know what this complication is almost making me realize?
What's that?
It's making me realize that maybe it would be better to get mic stands.
It could be. I was thinking the same thing after I did that, and I feel like we'll be able to see in the video. My face got so red when I realized my mic was off, because I felt so bad. Because I stopped in the middle of a story and looked at my mic and saw it was in the opposition, and I was just like, fuck, this wouldn't have happened if we just had them posted up in front of us. But also, I like that this feels more authentic that we're holding the mic. So, but hey, we got a lot of learning to do, and we'll just see what happens.
Also, because I like the nonchalant vibe of Matt and Shane's podcast.
100%.
And like, because it's shit like that I love, where like you don't need a crazy big production.
Nope.
You just need two guys that are at least a little bit funny and interesting.
Yeah. And they have the biggest podcast on Patreon. I mean,
yeah, they're killing it.
they make $500,000 a month off of Patreon, dude.
Yeah,
It's wild.
I mean, they're in a crazy fat mansion, and if they wanted to, they obviously could fucking splash the cash.
Yeah, splurge on a production team.
Yeah.
They don't need to. That's how they built their fan base.
Pretty sure they have one guy just sort of making sure the camera's working, but that's
So-
kind of it.
So hey, we'll see where this one goes.
Bro, okay,
Uh,
okay, but I'm almost thinking out loud with you. I'm like, so I don't know. I feel like it'd be a bit awkward to just start the podcast like mid conversation, but I guess I won't know till I see the footage. But
I
a
know.
part of me is thinking I'm either gonna do one of two things. If it was off the whole time, I'm either gonna have it be like, so just like play the conversation, but I have good audio through the microphone, but then your audio is just like whatever's going through the camera.
Yeah. Which will suck. Maybe. Again, we'll find out. That's why I kind of wanted to go extra long, because I felt like the first 40 minutes, my audio was shit.
But then I just realized I would have to make like little cuts, like every time I talk versus you talk.
Yeah.
So if it's off, I'll just.
A lot of podcasts start mid-conversation, so if we start with an Austin story, then...
To be honest, it actually also depends on how good the first 40 minutes were.
I know.
If there's anything where I'm like, oh, I really want that.
It was mainly just like a Guy Fieri story.
Yeah. Oh, but that was funny, though.
It was, dude. It was.
Yeah, but don't even worry about it. But,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll let you know how the footage turns out.
Yeah.
And if it does suck, then, like...
This podcast may never come out.
Then you owe me a beer or something.
All right. I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you 10.
Can't wait.
In fact, to end this podcast, I'm going to chug the rest of this White Claw you bought me.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, you are an alcoholic.
And I'm not an alcoholic. I just fucking love to drink.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Dude, thanks for coming on, bro.
Love it.
Always a pleasure.
Dosho number 9.
Yes.
Love it.
Thank you, guys. Peace out.